Madeline, can you hear me?
Yes.
But you can't see, she can't see you.
I'm an absolute rookie
hover
with, I've
here.
never used Zoom.
Hover here.
How have you gone through 2020 without using Zoom?
You know, right?
I'm impressed, actually. Here we go.
Sorry, and it shows up as my wife on there, Erin Merrill. So I didn't hop on early enough and realize it was going to be a Zoom call. And then I saw it, I'm like, uh-oh. So I just hustled down here and hopped on her computer.
Do you use something else? What else? What do you use?
I mean, I don't do a whole lot of video calls, so Skype seems to work for me, right? Wow, what a rookie.
Yeah, I can't even wrap my head around how you've gotten through this year without video calls.
Right, I know. I see my kids on it all the time, and yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Are they doing virtual school or are they going to school?
They're virtual. Yeah. How about you? Do you have kids?
Yeah, well, he's in pre-K, and so his preschool actually goes up until pre-K, and so we were really lucky to not have to worry about what he's doing this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's been interesting adjusting to it all, but we're fortunate that we both are working from home, so we can kind of juggle it and figure it out.
Yeah. You are?
My name is Dave Merrill, and my job title is Director of Sales and Marketing and Business Development. Yeah, I basically handle or manage all of our social media or any of our marketing that we do. I handle all new products, handle all of our customers, so in charge of all our retail accounts, what we're doing with them, and all of our bigger accounts and meeting with them. And business development would be, once again, growing those bigger accounts, growing all of our smaller accounts, and at the same time, that would be introducing new products and new prints out there. So I handle all of that. Anything that basically drives revenue or marketing is my side of the business.
What else? What other parts of the business are there? Like who do you kind of work with on a daily basis in Thirsties?
So on a daily basis, Madeline, I don't know that you know, but we're family-owned business, and we have a lot of family working there. So I kind of oversee a little bit of everything, but we have my brother Johnny, who does all of our payables and receivables. He also is involved in a few other things, but that is his main side of the business. My brother Jason, he handles all of our production, which would be everything. We have a couple warehouses here in Loveland. He handles everything in the production side, which means all the cutting, all the raws that come in, all the raw materials that we use to make our diapers. So he keeps up with demand, and he forecasts where he thinks we need to be, and he makes sure he cuts enough product to hopefully meet that demand. And then we have my dad also works with us. He has been a little bit removed over the last few years, but he comes in and he is the owner of the business and works, a fair amount just to check in and keep things going. And then Jason is married to Kathleen. They got married. She didn't used to be a Merrill, but now we got another one. They got married, I'm going to guess it was a year ago. She handles all of our customer service, mainly, I guess, more retail customer service for them, all the retailers and all of our shipping. So she runs all the shipping warehouse, but she does a little bit of everything. She gets her hands involved in everything. But those would be who I'm working with in the office on a regular basis, along with our warehouse team. And then I talk with Jessica in customer support. She works remotely. And Laura, I talk to her. We try to have a call every week or two just to discuss what's going on with social media and what we need to be focusing on. So yeah.
Are they related as well?
No. No, they're yeah, basically everywhere in the world. I mean, you really can't get hired unless you have a last name with Merrill if you're going to work at that warehouse. But we do have
everyone watching. For everyone watching.
Right. Yeah, we have two of them that are not Merrills that work in our warehouse.
Wow.
Okay. Bill and Denise, and they've both been with us for I'm going to go on the better part of 5 years probably.
Wow. So committed. How long have you owned Thirsties? Because I remember you said that you bought Thirsties out, or it was sold and you bought it.
Yeah. So Aaron Kimmett started Thirsties in 2007.
Okay.
My dad and brother came in and purchased it in 2010.
Okay.
And then I came on board in 2012. And since my brother has moved on to try some different things, actually Snowball, which I'm wearing his hat. he started that up in, I think, 2014 or 15 and left Thirsties.
What is that? What is Snowbond?
Indoor skiing.
Cool. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. It's very cool. It's in Denver. It's a neat thing.
Is it just skiing or is it snowboarding too?
They have snowboarding, skiing. They've got these jumps. You can launch off these jumps into foam pits and practice your aerials and trampolines. And
okay, so it's not like the fake waves where like there's waves and you surf on the waves. It's like different then.
it is different. So you're on like it's a revolving mat. And my guess is that mat is probably 30 feet wide, maybe 60 feet long, and it's at an angle, and it's like a turf, and it's watered down, and you just ski on normal skis and you can get the speed going. So you're constantly skiing down this hill until they hit stop on it. So it's pretty cool. And then, yeah, same thing. You launch down a long jump, fly into the foam pit. They've got a parkour place. It's neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Okay, back to Thirsties. So,
yeah.
So you had talked about how you are kind of in charge of products and stuff, and I've noticed that Thirsties, I feel like, is one of the brands that really like makes it a point to roll out new products often, which is, I feel like, I'm assuming that it is more difficult because, I mean, it's cloth diapers, right? So like, what is your challenge there on rolling out new products for cloth diapers specifically? Do you see a product or a problem, or does it just kind of like evolve on its own?
There's definitely problems coming from a guy who's not the most creative guy in the world trying to design cloth diapers. It's always a problem. It's fun. It takes us a long time. Prints are a little easier, but when you're doing products, it's a lot of testing, a lot of back and forth. Our sewers are in Denver, so we'll cut a prototype, we'll send it down to her. Depending on how much she has going on and what her learning curve is on that new product, it might take a week or 3 weeks to get it back. Then you test it out. You don't like it, you go through another version. It's just, you think every time you put it in your calendar, right, I'm going to roll this out in this month, I'm going to get it done. It never works out that way. The prototypes seem to be going on forever. You're 10 to 15 deep before you get to the one that you absolutely like and you think it's going to be worth taking out. And there's also, you got to wash them and make sure they wash well. And so you got all that testing and run them through. We work with a commercial launderer to test out some of our products before we roll them out, make sure they wear well. And so there's a lot to it. And like I said, we have a lot of people asking for bags, and I'm going to have to lean on Jessica at some point to do a cool bag, because when I think of designing a bag, I don't
like
even
a backpack or like a diaper bag?
kind of like a diaper bag.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I think that will happen, but I'm trying to get the low hanging fruit that I can handle right now before we get on something so tough for my mind to get around. But yeah, it's just a lot of testing, a lot of back and forth on the prototypes, and just doing your research on what's good out there, and trying to come some with original that's Thirsties.
So I am expecting in a little over a month, and so your Stay Dry all-in-ones just came out, the organic, and I can't pitch these to my clients yet because I want to be able to like tell them how they work or whatever. And so I got a handful of them, and then the inserts too. Not obviously not the pre-folds, but you have like the Stay Dry inserts.
Stay Dry inserts. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a couple of those, so I'm excited to product test.
Yeah. Well, you have to tell me what you think. I haven't asked for a whole lot of feedback on that new Stay Dry, and I haven't heard a whole lot of
really?
feedback on the Stay Dry Natural on one yet. I think it's an awesome product. I think it's going to do really, really well for us. It's been hard to tell a lot with everything going on with COVID, and diaper trends have kind of been all over the map and very busy with them. But as to what people are buying, there's so many new people in the game right now.
Oh, really?
Our sales are just a little bit different than they normally are. So we take them with a grain of salt, kind of what we're seeing and what the trends are. But
so piggybacking off of that, 2020 has been so crazy, and I feel like a lot of the other brands that we rent out in our service, they're really hard to get a hold of right now. Mm-hmm. Like almost everything is sold out, and pretty much every other brand, but you guys have really stayed on top of it. Have you realized a huge influx of people interested in cloth diapers, and like especially I would say like around March, when everybody was worried that they weren't going to be able to find diapers in the store?
Yeah, yeah. March and April were really quite busy and crazy, and especially as we went to a different schedule and people working at stage times and working from home,
Mm-hmm.
keeping up with that. I think it was more work than any of us have probably ever done since we've been at Thirsties, which is a great problem to have. We're all very thrilled that we're in an industry that is doing okay in this. So we're very fortunate in that aspect. But yeah, we saw some growth there, and I think we did see a couple supply issues that did slow down our production. But I think once again, we're blessed that a lot of our production is here. Almost all of our materials come here in the USA, and I think that was big for us as we tried to get through it all.
That's true, because you are one of kind of the only brands that really tries to stay in the USA, right? I mean, a lot of people outsource.
There's a few other ones out there, but yeah, we're, like I said, I think we're kind of lucky that we're taken from here in the USA or getting our fabrics from here in the US.
Right. Okay, so did you use you said you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I've got a 9-year-old and 11-year-old.
Okay, so they're well out of cloth diapers or just diapers in general. Did they use cloth diapers?
They both did. So my 11-year-old, I think my dad and brother bought the company when she was 1. So of course we jumped on board and did it.
Right.
It was, at first we're like, wow, what have these guys done buying this? This is so hard. Who does this? And then after, a month or two, we loved it. Like it's a little bit of a commitment, as I always tell everybody. If you're going to do it, it's a commitment. But you will love the rewards of it and what it's so nice, and all the money you save, how easy it is once you figure it out. And we did with both our kids exclusively. And even when we travel, we just love them. So
yeah,
great.
I think too, starting at 1, I feel like I think it's easier if you start with cloth diapers than if you try and transition from disposables to cloth for whatever reason. I've never really used disposables, so I am not a part of that group. Yeah. But that I've noticed that, like, with clients of mine, families of mine who started with disposables and tried to transition to cloth, it was much more difficult. Do you think maybe that's do you think that's true, or?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, just the simple ease of a disposable, and then you got to go and you got so much more work on your plate when you're already trying to juggle your firstborn. For many, it's a lot more to take on when you don't know what you're doing with anything with a baby. So yeah, disposables are a piece of cake. Put them on, put them off, and throw them away. It's so easy, and then making that transition to cloth is hard. So probably like a lot of things in life, if you start with a harder route, then you don't know as hard. You just don't know the difference. So I think that is a big thing. If people are doing disposables and making the jump, it's a little harder. But I think most people not most people, but I would say the majority of people, if you commit to it, you stick with it, because it's a really great thing to be doing for our environment.
Did you have a diaper service or anything, or did you guys wash them yourself?
We washed them ourselves.
Okay. Well, that also adds a lot of stress to the.
Yes, it does. And unfortunately, my wife was very, very good at it. She did most of it.
Yeah, my partner I feel like he does not have a high tolerance for anything body related, when it comes to bodily fluids. And so I would say I was definitely the sole. If we would have done disposables, if it were his responsibility, disposables, it would have just.
I think that's probably true for 90% of the guys out there. We don't have that tolerance. And if you look at most of you see it all the time in threads. How do I talk my husband into letting me?
Yeah. I'm actually, the diaper service is a huge sell for that, because then they're just off like they have no responsibility whatsoever, like you just throw it in a bag and whatever. It's a huge sell for husbands.
Yeah, they can get behind that. That makes sense for sure. But that's often the biggest obstacle for moms that are wanting to cloth diapers, talking to hubby into that.
Or their grandparents who used cloth diapers back when they were like, or parents when they used cloth diapers back when they were like, trash bags.
Right. Yeah.
That's another one I've heard a lot.
Absolutely.
So what, do you remember what your gnarliest poop situation was with your babes?
I can barely remember yesterday. My kids always tell me I have the worst memory ever. I'm starting to believe them. I don't, because we didn't have blowouts with our cloth diapers. So there wasn't anything that was that gnarly. I remember some pretty awful disposable blowouts up the back, but I can't think of a time when we had any issues with a cloth diaper. And that might sound like me just selling cloth diapers, but not, I don't remember anything. A poop is all contained, and
yeah,
nothing that ever was too bad. How about you? Do you have any good ones?
So one, it wasn't really diaper related. It was me just changing his diaper, and I was in a rush, and it was like I was late for work already, and I went to change him, and he peed all in my face and in my hair, and I was like, and all over himself, and I didn't have time to take a shower, and so I had enough time to put him in the bathtub real quick, but I didn't have enough time to bathe myself, and so I had to go to work with just like baby pee all up in my hair. It was the worst. And then another one was me trying to change his diaper in a car, and usually his poops were really mushy, but like this time it was a solid one, and so when I changed it, the poop just like rolled to this like it rolls out of the diaper and like into the side, like the side of the car. Like we were on like a road trip or something, and I was just like so confident I could do it. And then like the poop just like rolled to the side of the car, and I just like, it was just such a hot mess from there. Like,
oh man, I don't think people want to hear this. I guess I have one good poo story. It was we went to Vegas to visit my in-laws there, and my sister decided we're staying with her sister, and they decided they're all going to go out to dinner. And our youngest had croup at the time, so it was an awful plane ride out there. She's super sick, and she's just coughing her brains out. She's walking around in the kitchen. She throws up as she's coughing, and they're gone. I'm like, this is fun. So I'm like, oh, I got to go give her a bath. Now I put her in the bath. As soon as I set her in the bath, she poops all over the bath.
Oh yeah.
And then I pulled her out of the bath, and she pooped on the floor. And I'm like,
oh no.
There's my horrible story, but it continued the whole trip of barfing and puking out of my whole family except for me. And
my
those stories where everybody gets sick, but
yeah,
that was my bad one.
Yeah, my son was notorious for pooping in bathtubs as well. Which is just like the worst. Like you're trying to clean them, and then they just completely contaminate the whole area.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay. Next. So you have children. What do you? I feel like you've done this for a while, so you probably they've really grown up with you being in this role, right? So it's not like I feel like you probably have it down by now, but do you ever have an issue, maybe especially now that they're home and doing virtual school, like, juggling family and Thirsties? And I guess not, because they also work with you, right?
Right. It's always interesting. I mean, I think that question has a couple answers in it, but it's always interesting working with your family. It's, you have to remember to hang out with them outside of work, because we all are a little bit different at work. We might not have that same personality that you see from the outside. You get maybe a little bit more serious, a little bit more into your work, but then you're like, hey, weekend rolls around. Should I hang out with, Jason or Johnny, my two brothers? I'm like, well, I just saw them for, 60 hours, whatever, 40 hours this week.
Right.
And no, I don't really need to hang out with them, but then you get to go spend time with outside of work and see them, and they're fun, joyous, it's just a whole different environment when you're not working. So I think that's one of the things I always try to remember to do, is to spend time with my family outside of there and enjoy who they are outside of work. My kids, it's funny. I would say the most interesting thing about cloth diapers for them is they come home from work and they're like, Dad, how come people make fun of me when I tell them that my dad makes cloth diapers? Like nobody understands that at their age. They're like, what? Your dad makes cloth diapers? Like, and they just
Dad makes diapers?
And they feel embarrassed. And
yeah. I wouldn't even have thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, I had really hardly ever even heard of cloth diapers up until my brother and dad bought the company. I was like, so you got these kids that are 8 years old and 10 years old, and they're going, what? Your dad makes cloth diapers? Your dad's a diaper man? But yeah, they do good with me balancing it out. And then we get them involved with working at home. For the first little while, we just sealed some diapers at home, and the kids would help us. So we sit around and watch TV at night and get that done. But we're a little bit more efficient now, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Cool. Do you have any hobbies outside of Thirsties?
I do. We like to camp a lot. We love the outdoors. We also are all big golfers. My wife is a very good golfer, and I can get the golf ball around. So we play we play a lot of golf. We're hoping our kids take that up. We're getting them involved with that. But golf would be our biggest one. There's a lot of that happening in our family.
How do you keep up with that in Loveland? I mean, isn't it snowing like all the time?
No, it's Colorado's got the most sunshine of any state in the country for days. So it does get cold during the winter. I would say last winter was probably our worst winter we've had for a while. We got a bunch of snow right around Thanksgiving, and I don't think it fully melted for like 2 months, which is not normal for us. You can usually get out there and enjoy a couple of 50-degree days. So, but in general, you middle of March, you're going to still get some snow. You get some in April, but April through October is pretty darn nice, and so is most of November. Yeah.
I remember the last time I visited, it was November. I think it was like 3 years ago. I had just started the business, and there was like snow already just like piled up. Like a snowplow had like already gone through your parking lot to like clear out the snow. And it was probably like 60 degrees out, but it was just sitting there, and you were about to go golfing. You like met with me right before you're meeting up with people to go golfing. And I was just like mind blown that like there's a snow on the ground. You're going golfing. It's November. Like this is all just normal 60-degree weather. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is. When are you coming out here? Is it next week that you're coming out?
Yeah, the 17th to the 20th. So yeah, it's a popular vacation time, I guess.
Apparently. Yeah. Well, you've seen our weather. I don't know. Well, maybe you haven't, but you see it was 100 degrees here on Monday. I'm sorry, on Sunday, and then it's supposed to be up in the 90s on Monday, and then it snowed on Tuesday.
Yeah, and then it snowed. I did see that it snowed. That's insanity.
That's absurd. Yeah, it's so weird. We have that huge fire going, so thankful we've got some snow, and hopefully that helps it out a little.
Yeah, hopefully. That's so nuts. Do you think that having kids has like changed or not changed, but kind of molded your vision for Thirsties, or do you think they're just both kind of separate? What do you think? Do you think they've helped?
Yeah, that's a tough one. You should have emailed me that one to think about. I don't know that it has changed a whole lot. I think we've always been trying to do green things as a family and as a company. And I would say with kids more so as you watch what's going on in our world. And I think it does make you a little bit more aware of being efficient with energy and being green and doing the things we can for our world. So yes, I guess it does. The kids make us think about that more for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's not your future anymore; it's their future too. Absolutely.
Exactly. You watching everything going on out there right now with the heat waves and the fires is nuts.
Yeah, it's a great way to end this year. I feel like
All right.
Not great, but like it's on par.
Yeah, absolutely.
On par. Back to you. What's your most qualifying character trait? What do you think?
My most qualifying? Explain qualifying.
Well, like what makes you a qualified human? Like great quality.
That's a tough one. I would say I think my personality with others and my caring and very sincere, and I'm always there to make people happy and do what I can to make sure that people feel welcome and that they're included, and that I guess I'm just a very sincere person, and I want to make sure that people are treated well around me.
What do you find yourself constantly trying to improve?
Constantly trying to improve. Well,
nothing. You're perfect.
I mean, I am so amazing. That's a hard one. I think I am so not quick to judge people that are not associated with me, but sometimes I judge people that are
you're closest with,
family or friends more harshly than I would someone I don't know, and I think that's a bad trait to have. It's not fair that I would stick up for someone I don't know, but when it's someone I'm close to, and I think a lot of us have that, but that'd be something I definitely could work on. I'm a lot quicker to judge those close to me.
Although in a customer service setting, I feel like it's a great trait.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that helps us out. It's one of our things with Thirsties, and when Jessica handles our customer support, our answer is always, we don't know the scenario then, we don't know them, let's always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
trust them that they're doing the right thing, whether they are or not. We're all human beings, and I think 99% of us are trying to do the right thing.
What is your the Thirsties? I feel like Thirsties has a very particular culture that you all have cultivated, you know, in the past however long. How do you kind of keep that going? Because I think even in like, and maybe this is just you guys doing a great job, but even on your like retail pages and your fan page and everything like that, I mean, I feel like there's so much less drama than there is on any other similar platform. You know, and I'm interested how you guys, and that's just a small example, but I just feel like your culture is very well cultivated. Is there intention behind that, or did it just kind of evolve that way?
Yeah, that's tough. I'm not sure of that. There's certainly intention behind that. We try to steer clear of all the drama that we can and keep it all diaper related in our group. And I think it stems from who we are. I think a lot of the people that follow us trust in us because I think they think we're good people running a good business. We have integrity. We want to take care of our customers and our retailers. So I think that shines through in our customer base. As we are growing that group, and let's say our private group is, we're getting more and more people in there and more conversation, and it becomes a little bit harder to control the narrative. But we do our best and try to shut things down as quickly as we can and just keep things going on the positive path. And occasionally I'll get in there and say something ridiculous and dumb in there and just get on a video and chat with them and let them know who we are and that we're real people and we're all doing the best we can for them and for our retailers. And I hope that goes a long way with them.
Yeah, you're not just another company. So the cloth diaper world's pretty small, yeah?
Yeah.
So yes, do you have relationships with any other kind of brands that are around?
You know what? That's something I miss. We still do. There used to be an ABC show, the Kids Expo in Las Vegas, that we used to go to. And we stopped going to that, I believe, in 2014 or 15 would have been our last year. Only because the show started to decline. And also our market, as you said, is small. Cloth diapers are small. There's not a ton of us out there. And there's also a lot of people going to that show aren't there to buy cloth diapers. They're there to buy kids' toys and blankets and this and that. And you get to meet most of the retailers pretty quickly. So we stopped going along with almost every other cloth diaper company a few years ago. But that was our time where we got to get together with them. We certainly hung out with the owners of the other brands a lot and spent a lot of time with them. And I love our relationships that we have. It's a bummer we don't get to see them anymore. And because they're kind of out of sight, out of mind, it's a lot easier to not chat with them on a regular basis now. But I still chat with some of them at least a couple times a year just to see how their business is doing, how they're doing, how their families are doing. But yeah, it is a small market, and a lot of us do know each other.
Hopefully growing though. It seems like it is. It feels like
it's growing, and they're seeing different people come into the game and different and others go out of the game. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I see some threads about diaper companies I haven't heard of, and I go look and they seem to be doing great, but I hadn't heard of them, and they're making great products. And I would have heard of them once again if we had that expo, and I'd probably know them, but
right,
because we're all so disconnected now, there's never any time we all get together.
Yeah, I feel that. This is the hardest question that anyone I've interviewed. I think 3 other people so far, and this is the hardest one. What are some of your long-term personal goals?
Oh man, well, one should be short-term, but I think it's turning into long-term. I've been trying to lose 10 pounds now for about 3 years. And so that's going to be my long-term. I just shaved my beard. Here's a bad story about my 10 pounds I'm trying to lose. I shaved my beard for fun. I did a stupid mustache and I shaved my beard, and my wife hates me without a beard.
Without a beard, she hates it?
She hates it. I don't know if she hates it. That might be a little strong, but she certainly prefers the beard. I said, well, honey, I've been trying to lose this 8 to 10 pounds for I don't know. It's maybe going on a year and a half or 2, but I'm not growing back my beard until I lose it. I already gave in and started growing it back because my long-term goal is not getting there. But actually is because I think there's too many comments in the groupies that they like my beard better, so I'm gonna have to grow it back.
Oh yeah, it's got all for the groupies, right?
Oh man, but long-term, I think I want to I do want to get in shape. I would like to I used to do some marathons and triathlons. I'd like to get back into doing a little bit of that as I have time, as my kids are getting older. Golf, I have some long-term goals. I would like to compete at some higher levels than I am now. And Thirsties, I'd like to see us continue to grow it, and business-wise, doing more mainstream products that are not just related to cloth diapers, that would enhance our brand and our following, and get out there and do more than we're doing. I think cloth diapers is going to, I'm not sure how much more we can do in the cloth diaper world as far as making new diapers. There's only so many you can do. There's only so many different styles. We can keep doing prints, we can do all that, but as far as cloth diapers go, I think we're about there. We can do some products that accessorize with it, but that's it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't think I really think of long-term goals, Madeline. That is a great question, and something I don't put a lot of thought into. I'm always thinking about tomorrow and what the year's going to bring, not where I'm at in 15, 20 years.
I will tell you that you broke the rule that everyone else broke as well, and that's putting your professional goals into your personal goals.
Oh, did you say personal? See, I'm not even a good listener. So long-term, I want to work on my listening skills and do a better job at following directions.
Well, so we've got now long-term professional goals. So your long-term professional will be Thirsties kind of branching out, right?
Yeah, I think as you think about Thirsty, I think that's where we'll probably be heading, is making, like, maybe those bags and just things of that nature, just different things than cloth diapers. Because
I'd be so down for a Thirsties diaper bag.
Yeah, right. And maybe blankets. I don't know, but it's we have a really loyal following. We've got a great fan base, and I think there's a lot of them that like to see us do things outside of cloth diapers. So, and they also would like to see us do things that when their kids are out of cloth diapers, that we now have something for them. Because like I said, there's only so many things we can do with cloth diapers. So we're going to have to start doing some of the things we've discussed.
Yeah, outside of that. Yeah. And then do you have anything in store for us, Thirsties?
Of course.
Yeah. Is it confidential?
It always is confidential, Madeline. There is some things the next few months are going to be really busy. Because of COVID, we had a lot of things pushed back, and we're still trying to catch up on the production side of that with new things that have just been pushed back. There's been things that we're going to launch this year that are actually, I don't know when they're going to launch even in 2021, because we're still got pushed back so much. But yeah, there's definitely new things. There's some retail exclusives coming, and we've got a few things coming. There's some stuff in December that are slated for December. I'm hoping we're done with them, that are pretty, well, I guess a little different for us. So that I'm excited if we do get them done, it'll be fun to see what everybody's reaction is to it.
I love, I feel like all the retailer exclusives are just so great.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I need to stop doing those darn retail exclusives, because they're so awesome. I just need to tell them when they design them, those are now mine. There's a couple coming up. There's quite a few coming down the pipeline, but there's a few that are just, and they're all good, but there's a few that I just love. And that's not to say all the retailer ones aren't good, because I don't like every print we come out with. I would say I like them, but there's some that are my favorites. You just never know which ones are going to
which ones are going to look good on a bum. Yeah.
Yeah. And which ones people are going to be really excited about. I know there's been a few that I'm like, there's no chance. And I see their reaction. I'm like, wow, I clearly don't get it, but that's why it's nice that we have retailer exclusives to go do something different than the standard Thirsties taste, because that's huge, and that's a huge need. You don't want all of our followers to constantly get what Dave Merrill likes, because I don't have the same taste as all of them. So you get exclusive that do something that's different and personal to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's one coming up that it's much different than us, and gosh, I love it. I wish it was mine, but it's not Thirsty style, and I think I would take it gladly, but people are going to love it.
That's awesome.
So we're fortunate for those retail exclusives to kind of diversify our lineup.
Yeah, they're super cool. I just can't wait until I'm at the point where I can have my own.
Right.
That's so exciting. Okay, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for getting on here and answering all of my.
Yeah, it was wonderful to chat with you, Madeline. I'm sorry that I got Aaron Merrill showing up, and I don't know how this works. It's people post this or something, and it's going to say Aaron Merrill or what happens with this. But
Yeah, it will, but it's all right. I'll put it down that it's not Aaron. Your name is not Aaron. Your name is Dave.
Dave's clueless on Zoom, and yeah, so he wasn't prepared. All that connection.
Wonderful.
Well, Madeline, good to chat with you. I'm sorry we won't be around. You're still welcome to come by next week. I don't think there's going to be much of the team there.
Just look in the windows.
Yeah, there's not much to see. Yeah, I think Jason and Kathleen are actually going to be on a camping trip. I'm going to be on a camping trip, so there won't be a whole lot of people there. But.
You got to get it in while you can.
Right, we're going to have some amazing weather next week, so it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I hope I get that weather too. Where are you going camping?
We're going up to Estes Park.
Oh, cool.
It's like about an hour from here up in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Awesome.
Nice. All the elk are out, and we camp up above this meadow where they kind of sit out there. All the elk are out there all the time. They're battling each other, and it's fun.
Does that not scare you, like elk?
No. You see how close people get to these things. They're not the smartest people, and I think some lady.
Huge. Elk are humongous.
They're huge. Some lady did get gored by one, I guess, last year. She got too close to him, but no, people get right up next to him, and yeah, I tend to keep my distance from them. They're really cool, and it's fun to listen to them bugling, and then to watch the males battle each other is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Madeline, it was great chatting with you.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate you having me. And
thanks for hopping on board. I really do. I appreciate it.